I'd like to welcome Christiana Figueres, the Executive Secretary of the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change. Thank you very much for joining us. I think maybe just to start off, it might be useful to an audience that isn't closely following the climate change debate. So why gender is a climate change issue? Why is it so important?
Well, it's very clear what the intricate link is, and that is because women are disproportionately affected by climate change. Women are the most vulnerable to the adverse effects of climate change, and also because women are actually perhaps our strongest key agent of adaptation. So on both sides, because of the vulnerability and because of the potential that women have to contribute to the solution, they are really one of the most important components here.
I mean, 6 agreements at Cancun on gender issues. There's going to be a focus on gender at Rio +20. I mean, is the debate on gender as far advanced as you would like it to be at this stage?
Definitely not. We're behind schedule, but we've come a long way. So we were a convention that was born without any mention of gender whatsoever. That was 20 years ago, and we have been able to progress into now having out of Cancun very specific mentions in the Cancun agreements as to where gender is important, in particular in adaptation and in mitigation. So that is at least opening up the door a little bit. But that, of course, is not enough, because it's not about inserting the word gender into a negotiating text or even into an agreement. It's about actually using these instruments to finally get down to the women who are on the ground, in the field, and getting for them to be able to benefit from this. So that's the real challenge. It's not about, yes, we're proud that we have 6 mentions. Yes, we're proud that in the Secretariat we have we had a fellow from Mongolia and a fellow from Nigeria who were working with us on gender issues, but that's not the end result. That is only the way that we use to really get to the end result. So let me give you 2 astonishing facts which really very crisply put out there what the challenge is. 80% of the food production in Africa is produced by women. In the world, 50% of us women still cook on open stoves. So you can imagine what that means. That means that we women are responsible for water, mostly around the world. We are the ones who go and get the water that we need for our families. We are mostly responsible for food production, and we are mostly responsible for food cooking. So all of those activities, of course, are affected by climate and affect climate, because inasmuch as women continue to use open fires, they're contributing to deforestation, they're contributing to really bad health situations, bronchial situations in their families. So there's a lot of opportunity to help women actually improve the quality of their lives while they can contribute to the solution.
Is it still a difficulty? While we may achieve gender equity in meetings like COP17 and beyond, walk into any financial district pretty much around the world and you'll see predominantly men there. Walk into any boardroom of the carbon emitting companies and there'll be mostly predominantly men. I mean, is that an obstacle, you think, to the advancement of the gender issue within the climate change framework?
Well, it could be, but I don't think that that's the main obstacle. The main obstacle is our mental shift, that we have to realize that women are not just disproportionately affected, but that women can be such a solution. We are 50% of the population around the world, and we represent more than 50% of the solution.
And women are obviously mothers as well. So
yes.
I mean, children is increasingly, or the issue of children is becoming increasingly prominent in these negotiations. Where are we in relation to the debate on how climate change affects children?
Well, they too, because they are the vulnerable generation, they are definitely affected in a negative way. But I have such hope for that new generation, because we women, wise that we are investing and imbuing in the next generation the awareness of climate. And I'm really very confident that children in their next generation are going to grow up with very different behaviors from what we have. My own daughters are my best police women women with respect to the behaviors in our family. And such it is for many. I have seen so many young people here at the COP, outside of the COP, in schools in South Africa, so many of them saying, we understand that we cannot continue doing what the previous generation has done. They can't. We cannot allow that anymore. That business as usual that we had is something completely irresponsible and just no longer sustainable. And the next generation is changing that. Thank heavens.
Okay, Christiana Figueres, thank you very much.
Thank you.